Hello, I'm Jonathan. Today I'd like to talk to you about using digital resources to motivate learners. Why do we need to do this? Well, learners today were born into a digital world of endless choices and almost constant online interaction. And if we want students to see our classes as relevant and useful, then we need to reflect this world and engage with it. Let's start by thinking a little bit more about how 21st century learners differ from previous generations. And then we'll look at how digital resources can help motivate those learners, and so bring about better learning outcomes. Some of us can remember what the world was like before the internet, before mobile phones, and before gaming consoles. And it can be hard to imagine what effect the digital age has had on our students. Clearly, modern teenagers have got used to learning by doing. How do they learn to operate all their digital devices and online platforms like YouTube? They probably don't read an instruction manual. They're much more likely to learn by trying things out for themselves. And in class, learning by doing seems to be their preferred methodology. Sitting at a desk and listening to the teacher all the time is simply not motivating anymore, if it ever was. The internet is their prime source of information, and they believe everything they need to know can be found there. They just need to Google it, whether it's about a hobby or finding out the meaning of new words. Learners are therefore more independent and less motivated by working with books alone. This means teachers need digital resources which keep students focused and engaged, reflect how students normally consume information, and are interactive so that they can be used for independent learning. So let's look at the kinds of digital resources that can help teachers engage teenage learners and keep them motivated. Perhaps the most popular resource is every teenager's best friend, their mobile phone. Instead of simply banning the phone in class, it's possible to set up collaborative tasks such as writing or digital storytelling, where students write the narrative and then use their phone to take photographs to illustrate the story, or take a video of themselves telling the story. This creates an outcome that can be played back in class. It's really helpful if the teacher can display multimedia material on a large screen using an interactive whiteboard or a projector. There are plenty of resources available, both as course components and as standalone apps to use in class. Interactive language games are perfect for teamwork or for competitions. They don't have to be sophisticated video games. Students love simple quizzes with interactive feedback, or even modern versions of traditional games like Hangman, which is great for vocabulary revision. Grammar is also easier to digest and remember if somehow animated or made interactive. Grammar animations can be very helpful here. They're more likely to capture students' attention and, if humorous, they're more memorable.
Really? Well, I'm sorry, but you mustn't go into the changing room.
What about visual resources? Teenagers these days are used to learning using pictures and videos rather than text. They frequently learn new English words and expressions from games and films. So what sort of video has the best chance of engaging learners? Well, it's probably going to be video about teenagers, perhaps even filmed by teenagers, where they discuss their own lives and subjects that interest them. It's also likely to be casual, unscripted, and relatively short, much like what they watch online. Video blogs, for example, are popular with teenagers and can be a great way to provide exposure to authentic English and everyday culture in English-speaking countries. Video blogs with teenagers talking about subjects like the pressures of schoolwork, dating, or what they did at the weekend can be an excellent starting point for discussion and project work.
Hey guys, Cara back with you here, and I'm joined by Michael.
Hiya.
So me and Michael are going to be discussing some things that are special to us.
Yep.
So with me today, I have bought something that is so special to me. Are you ready to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, now It's a bit embarrassing, so you guys will be the first people to ever actually see this.
Oh,
okay?
I'm excited.
Thirdly, clips that allow a natural transition to language practice, such as situational videos with useful phrases, are going to work well. And students generally like learning functional language and phrases because they understand the immediate value. Phrases for situations such as ordering a takeaway, asking for directions, or going to the cinema are often popular, and video is an excellent way to present such functional language.
Would you like to go to a music festival?
That sounds good. When is it?
It's on Saturday, the 4th of August. Is that okay?
Yes, fine. Where is it?
It's in Finsbury Park. Do you fancy going?
Yes, that would be great. Thanks.
After watching a situational video, it's important to give students the chance to use the language they hear. You can do this by asking students to play the role of one of the characters from the video, but changing one or two details.
Would you like to go to a music festival? It's on Saturday, the 4th of August. Is that okay? It's in Finsbury Park. Do you fancy going?
Finally, let's look at online practice. Most teenagers spend a considerable amount of time online. This is where they go after school to meet their friends. And that's why it's a good idea for at least some of their assignments to be there too. With a learning management system, teachers can set online assignments for students, like interactive grammar and vocabulary quizzes, web quests, and writing tasks. For teachers, the biggest advantage of using a learning management system is how it shows student engagement and progress and makes it possible to analyze errors. Setting practice online is motivating for teenagers, helps personalize learning, diagnose problems, and is likely to help each student advance faster. To summarize, electronic devices and all they offer can be skillfully exploited to make sure that learning English is both more engaging for teenage learners and more rewarding for teachers. If we use tools that students like and that make language practice more natural and more fun for them, we can be almost certain that the outcomes will get better. Adding videos, animations, and digital components to any teacher's toolkit will make lessons more engaging and is likely to improve results. Thank you for listening, and the very best of luck with your digitally enriched classrooms.
So, Rashida, I'm going to ask you some quick-fire questions. We're going to find out how well you know Wales. What is the capital city of England?
London.
If you guys know any ways to relax before exams, let us know, or you can try this one at home.